Welcome to the Living a Nordic Life podcast, where we explore a simpler, cosier and more intentional life the Nordic way. I'm Fiona McKenna, your Nordic living guide and founder of Living a Nordic Life, where I share all things Nordic living and show you that a Nordic life is the way to bring intentional calm and healthy habits into your own life, wherever you are in the world. Are you looking for ways to bring simplicity, coziness and calm into your life? Well, let me show you how. Visit the Living a Nordic Life website to explore how I can help you on your journey to simple, healthy and happy calm, the Nordic way. You can subscribe to the podcast right here. And if you want regular inspirational emails sent with love from Norway and straight to your inbox, don't forget to subscribe to the Living a Nordic Life newsletters. And so now let's dive into our episode. Hi, Velkommen to the Living a Nordic Life podcast. And I'd like to start with this very first episode by introducing myself so that we can get to know each other a little bit. This is going to be a really short episode, but at least we get to say hello. My name is Fiona McKenna and I'm the Nordic Living Queen. Help you to live a simpler, cosier and more intentional life the Nordic way. Let me start by telling you a story. It's a story that starts in England and it carries us across the North Sea to Norway. I was born and I grew up in the gentle green hills of southern England, Hampshire and Dorset in fact. And it's 1,000 miles away from the rugged mountains and the striking coastline of Norway and the Nordic life. But in 2007, I met my Norwegian partner, Andre, and discovered a different way of life. A way of life that brims with intention, coziness, and simplicity. It was the Nordic way of life. It seemed like I was living the dream at the time. I was travelling around the world for work. I was working as an event manager. And I was staying in the most beautiful locations and in the very best hotels that there are. But I was still feeling like I was missing something. I harboured a deep-seated longing for something simpler, closer to nature, and a more carefully thought-out way of life. I had absolutely no idea how to get it, and little did I know that at some point it would come looking for me. But in 2016, when Andre and I moved to Norway, I was thrown into a culture that quietly and modestly, in typical Nordic fashion, has had an enormous impact on my life. For a while I fumbled about, wanting to embrace Nordic living, but not really knowing how or even why or even what it was called, until I realised that I needed to become part of it. I needed to embrace it fully and to understand every aspect of it, to create the simple, cosy and intentional life that I've been longing for so long. I avidly learnt and I absorbed everything about Nordic living from the point of view of someone who was not born to it, from someone who was very much a foreigner. And I gradually let the stresses and pressure of life elsewhere float away as the Nordic way filled my life with substance and intention. Now, my life is full of coziness, healthy habits, healthy Nordic habits, simplicity, and mindful intention, without compromising on modern life. We don't need to do that. We can have both. And since then, I've helped thousands of people embrace the beauty of Nordic living. And I want to help you make your own life simpler, healthier, and cosier, the Nordic way, wherever you are in the world. So I'll hope you join me for my podcasts, where I'm going to share my life in Norway, healthy Nordic habits that we can bring into our own lives, and all sorts of exciting, simple ways to make life happier, healthier, cosier, and more intentional. So I'll see you in the first episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the Living a Nordic Life newsletters so you can get an email when I release a new episode. It's a quick and easy way to keep up with all things Nordic living. Please visit livinganordiclife.com. You can listen to Living a Nordic Life on lots of podcast apps, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, and plenty of others. If you've enjoyed the Living a Nordic Life podcast, why not leave me a rating? So that's the end of Living a Nordic Life for today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.